Alright YouTube, what is going on? My name is Bigfoot and welcome to episode number 50 of the wonderful White Valley series here on Transport Fever. I was always thinking, would we ever get to this stage, and we have. This is the longest series I've ever had going on my channel, up to 50 episodes. I've always dreamed of having a series which has been as long as this, and we've finally gone ahead and reached this. Arguably, yes, this series has been spanning, 1 year and maybe... yeah, 1 year, 3 months, I think, so about 15 months in total, which is quite drastic, but it has been an interesting ride, especially since we've come back episode 12. We've really gone ahead and grown the map, and can't wait to really get it done. 10 more episodes, I'm thinking. I mean, I guess I say a different number at the start of every episode. I require a lot of time to go ahead and build the new map and actually get a mods list. Arguably, I'm getting help with the mods list, at least from Meister, thanks to him, but the map's going to take quite a while to build. It's not one of these ones, like, the series is going to be so unique, I'm hoping anyway, that I go ahead and it's going to take me a long time to build the map, because it's going to be such a difficult map. And I've made 1 or 2 maps. These are challenge maps, which I'd actually quite like to do a challenge series as well at some point. That would be really, really awesome as well, but I think for the time being we're just going to go ahead and I'm going to have to try and build the map when I get some spare time, and then that will allow us to go ahead and get ready for the new series, which I'm excited about. And I think, I mean, yeah, again, it could be about a month's time. That's probably when realistically it will start. Anyway, so I want to go ahead and draw our attention to a few things starting off this episode. All of a sudden, in our cargo loop, we have got lots and lots of food and lots of construction material being moved around, which is great. Quite a drastic change from what was happening before. This is now all of a sudden at near enough a maximum production. This must be at maximum production, surely, if that is so high. We've just boomed, and I don't really know why. It's just all of a sudden things are working, so I'm likely to click in here. But that's 74% food utilization in Doncaster, which is absolutely crazy. Then on top of that, coming up to Prince Dobster, I can imagine, I mean, it's not as high, but there's a lot of food to be moved, so I mean, I could argue that we need to bring in more trucks, because there's a train coming along with another 200 odd woods here. So yeah, I think it's time for us to go ahead and grab a few more of these DHL trucks along here. Now, while we're going ahead and doing this, I do want to go ahead and address some more user feedback, which you guys have been leaving me. Again, doing a bit of mass recording right now, so I'm maybe an episode or, well, quite a few episodes behind, arguably, on that matter. With regards to commenting, we're going to go ahead and add in, this is like the worst time for 2 trains to come in, because as we can see, there is going to be a massive dump of goods into here. So if we go ahead and get 3 trucks onto here, because this place is just about to explode with regards to the amount of food that's being stored here and the amount of construction materials, so that's why we'll go ahead and speed it up. But comments wise, we have 2. So first of all, I've not really gone ahead and named the outer, or this massive cargo loop which we are going ahead and building, which I think it really needs a name. And I was thinking of a name, and I was trying to go for something like quite unique, like the cargo something. I was trying to get cargo in there, but I think I'm just going to go ahead and call it the Bigfoot Loop, and that is, or the Bigfoot Cargo Loop. Bigfoot Loop, Bigfoot Cargo Loop. We'll always know what I mean by this. It'll be the basically massive cargo project. That was a comment suggestion by Captain Jesse. Not seen your name in the comments in a while, so thank you very much to that. Then on top of that, jumping away from that, we have some more comments here. What I tend to do is I tend to go ahead and see your comments and then write them down on sticky notes, hence why, I mean, I don't think you can hear me messing around my sticky notes, but I am sort of looking through them right now. Then we have another comment. This one comes from Meister, and it's basically to go ahead and he wants to see planes in this map moving cargo. Now, this is an interesting one, because I've been talking to him a bit in the comments, and it's one of these things where I really do want to do it, the where do we do it? Now, this is, I mean, this brings up a whole different question in itself. I also feel the frame rate's got really bad all of a sudden, and I'm not at all sure why that is, even though we're playing on ×1 speed. Where we would use planes is where we can't use trains. Bottom line. Thing is that they will always I mean, yeah, it's really difficult to say. They're always going to go ahead and be competing with each other, planes and trains, as they do right now in the map with passengers, for example. So I need to go ahead and find like a really, really useful but remote set of like, or these tiles, whatever you call them. I don't know what the collective name for one of these tiles is. Is it a cargo hub? Is it it's something cargo anyway? What I need to do is I need to find a raw resource and then an outputting resource. So for example, I need to find like a forest and a sawmill really close to each other. But that is really obscure. So I'm going ahead and just having a look around here. I mean, this isn't that obscure. Problem is, there's no that obscure places. Like all the way up here, for example, this could actually be a thing. So we've got crude oil. And then this comes up to here. Now this could produce plastic. This is where we'd have an airport to go ahead and fly plastic out to places. I think that would be a good idea. Arguably, in saying that though, I could probably route plastic to here or here. So I mean, it's one of these things which is a bit difficult, but what I want to do is I want to go ahead and continue on moving around into this area because we've gone ahead and expanded into it into the last episodes. And I want to go ahead and actually make use of this. So, as we can see here, we've currently got a fuel train. This one runs into the town of Maidstone, which is great. As we can see, we are hitting whopping 0%. We're at 6 out of 1,394. That is because this route literally just did get made, so it's not exactly that big of an hiccup right now. I'm expecting that to start to increase quite quickly, and we can already see there is a lot of fuel waiting there in the station. This is already up to 66, so we are going to go ahead and put more pressure onto it. We're going to add in a train which runs into Telscombe here as well, which kind of makes sense. I've built the station, the infrastructure is there. We just need to go ahead and connect it up. Did we actually build a cargo roads route as well? No. I'm actually so confused here. I think I've got the tram and I've got the cargo trucks like ridiculously similar colours, and it just does not look good at all. So we're in Telscombe here, so if we jump... Is this Telscombe? Yeah, but we have two trams in Telscombe now, don't we? Yeah, we have this green one here. Let's go ahead and just change this colour so we can actually see what's going on. So there we go. Now if we go back into this view, we can see things a little bit better. I was beyond confused there. So we've got two truck routes, which go ahead and serve the two. So we've already set that up, so we actually just need to get stuff to stop here, which really makes sense. So I think that's probably a priority for me to go ahead and do right now. So let's filter by trains here. Let's go ahead and create a new route here from Telscombe North over here to where our oil... It's not an oil refinery, it is an oil refinery, that's what it is. This is going to be the G. This is going to be Tels... If I can spell... I never spell Telscombe right. There's certain words that I just never spell right, and I always go ahead and put one letter out. One really good example right now, actually at work, I'm doing a lot of networking stuff, and I do not spell networks right. I will spell it N-E-T-O-W-R-K. All the time. I think it's just my fingers are so used to go ahead and typing it that way. It's really, really strange, but as we can see here, things are... We've all of a sudden got a lot of pressure on this section of track as well. So what we are going to go ahead and do is we are going to go ahead and make that change as of now. It looks like that train is currently out the way. Though, what is this train doing? Does that use that platform? So these trains cross over each other. Yeah, I mean, that's not ideal at all. Let's go ahead and change that ASAP. So, while that's in the station there, let's go ahead and make this change. So, what we're going to do, I think, is we're going to go ahead and get rid of this small expansion here. And what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and cut you back even more, in fact. Where's that train got to? It's quite a bit down the line. I don't want to cut it off. I seem to have a speciality in doing that, cutting off trains when I'm deleting tracks or roads. So let's go ahead and continue this right up to here, and let's just get this to... We can get that to sort of snap into that node there, but it's not, which is the issue. Sometimes it just works, sometimes it doesn't work. Right, if we run you into there and then get you to try and snap along there, so we all of a sudden jump down to 97 miles per hour, which I think is shockingly low. If we do that, 125, trains can't really get much above that. Then as we can see now, we're a tiny bit lower down. That's probably why it wasn't necessarily snapping. And get that to run into there like so, which is perfect. And then we can go ahead and reconnect that up to there like so, which is wonderful. So with that done, now we can go ahead and make changes here. So what I want to do is I want to go ahead and run that out to there. Then let's run those two together there. Then what I want to do is, I mean, this is going to be single line train, though that is the train which we need. That's not the train we need. So what's happening now is you're going to jump over to Terminal 3 for the time being, which is fine. And then those two are going to share. Right, that's our problem solved right now. So as you can see, this is the, I guess, layout we've gone for. The two fuel trains are going to share the same segment of track. And then we've actually got the crude oil train on its own track, which I imagine as time goes on will add on more trains onto the crude oil as the demand goes up as we start to supply more towns. Right, well said. So the only thing we need to do is go ahead and throw down a few signals, which as of recent I have been going ahead and skipping, but because we do not have to put down a lot of signals and because this should only take me about another 10 seconds, we will let you go ahead. I mean, I don't know, is it something people enjoy? Do people enjoy seeing me put down signals? I mean, it's one of these things which I've got to sort of make a judgment call as the content creator and go, right, okay, surely that's not interesting, surely I should speed this up. But again, I mean, I don't always get things right, and evidently with the channel growth right now, it is something which is playing on my mind a lot, if you cannot tell. So what my issue is, which I've probably explained in quite a few videos now, is that I just feel I'm not getting enough new faces onto the channel. And it's not to say that the current faces are bad by any means at all, but I also want the channel to grow. I do want to go ahead and really try and get my content to as much people as possible, and as of recent I've been trying to go ahead and improve my content. For example, with the introduction and the series, I've been trying to go ahead and just spice things up a little bit, and I feel the quality is, I mean, it's not world class, but it's not awful at the same time. So what I really just need to happen is I need to just get my videos out to more people, which I'm going to try and do it in a number of ways. But one of the biggest things I can ask from you, the viewers, try go ahead and share the videos out with whoever you really can do. If that is with friends, family, or whoever, go ahead and please share. Right, what train is this? Because I literally want to copy this train here. So this is the G. This is Maidstone, and that's fuel. So we've got a locomotive that's filtered here by electric. We've got a class 103 by the looks of it on the front, and then wagon wise we have the extra large tanks here which carry fuel, and we've got 14 of these. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Also realise I have spelt fuel wrong with the Telscom route, but don't think that's going to matter too much. So if we go for G, we go for Telscom, and we go for fuel, that's perfect. Is our new route already in profit? It's not actually, and it also takes 8 minutes to run, but again, I mean, considering the amount of cargo we must have had in the last train, probably about 6 units of fuel, then I'm not surprised. Anyway, so we should now start to see a train cripple out, or not cripple, that's the worst word to use there. Treacle is a good word, and that was the word I was thinking of. You know when something like treacles down I don't know, water can treacle. That's where I'm going with this anyway. Please let me have that one. Right, okay, so those trains are on the move, which is good. So with that done now, we can go ahead, and I would like to connect up another town as well. Arguably Somerton if we can. Though, how easy is that feat going to be? I think it should be relatively easy, but all of a sudden we're going to find ourselves with lots of tracks crossing over in and around this area, which, don't get me wrong, that's fine as well. It just all of a sudden puts a lot more pressure on things around here. It's quite amazing to see in this valley as well, actually, how many oil refineries we've got. We've got the one up here by Somerton, then we've got a separate one up here by Dedham, and then we've got another one in the mountains here by Burnham, which is very, very drastic indeed. But then, of course, there's like none up this side of the map. Well, there is this one here. I mean, that's getting a lot of utilization, and then all of a sudden we're starting to see a lot of goods being made here, which is great to see as well. So, it's just so much going on now, it is crazy. What is going on here now? It's just absolutely crazy, the takeover that's happened. I mean, the thing is, that's actually not a lot of goods because the trains will come along and they will clear this backlog out. I'm right in saying it's just that because of the fact... Why has the Maidstone Stone not got any goods? That is one issue. Which does alarm me a bit. I'm guessing, I mean, that route is new, but it's not that new. I'm also waiting on trains. Oh, have we got, we had a warning earlier on. It's disappeared now though. Thing is, unless this demand gets over maybe like 400, then we're totally fine. We've got a train coming in here, which this train, hovering over it, but it will not let me click on it. Let's try that once more. What is going on here? Right, Doncaster construction train, which is fine. So that's 360, that will all clear, which is perfect. And then, again, so the other trains, I'm really unsure why the Maidstone Stone isn't working though. That's why, because it is, yeah, a silly train. It's not a silly train, it brings in the stone, that makes sense. So the one that doesn't have much going on it is the G Prince Con, which is crazy because I was moving so much construction materials over to here recently. Supply just all of a sudden cut itself off? I don't know, we'll leave that for now because, again, we need to move on to some other stuff. It's crazy what's going on down here all of a sudden as well. Thing is, for this we've got, I think, enough trucks. Though that's all going on to the Maidstone Goods 1. How many trucks do we have for that route though? That is a question and a half. G Maidstone, and then if we filter by road vehicles, let's just go ahead and quickly throw this in here. We've got 2 trucks in that route. No wonder supply and demand is maybe a little bit flaky there. So let's go ahead and grab 2 more DHL. DHL are getting quite a lot of good business right now out of us. I think I might go ahead and try and vary up a few more different truck companies though, because I think that would be a good idea. So if I actually have to think about this, which I do, we're looking for M in the alphabet, which should be about halfway through. And there we go, that's perfect. So that should hopefully go ahead and make some sort of difference. Though again, only time will tell. We've also got some fuel in here as well, which really frustratingly also wants to go to the exact same place. So with that said, we are going to go ahead and deal with this. I'm just going to go ahead and make sure that I don't have to come back and continuously do this. Let's increase that up to 6 trucks for now, which should do the job. Right, okay, so jumping away from this, we need to get away from this because if we feel, I don't want to get too bogged down on something. That's really what I'm trying to avoid in general. What we need to do is we need to try and get a goods train into Somerton. Now this might be a bit of a more difficult feat than said B because first of all, the terrain alignment in the town isn't wonderful. There's a bit of flat land over the back there. Would that be worth using? I would like to maybe keep it out in the middle here. I'd really like to have it over here. So with that said, then let's go ahead and see if we can actually achieve that. So what I'm looking to do here is we jump to trains, we jump to goods train stations, we then get freight station, we then get 6 platforms, so we go for 320, we go for high speeds. This is the station we want to build, so this is the question, where does it go? That is the real honest difficulty. What we could do in this situation here is we could actually have a dead end station. What I mean by that is have platform endings and have it in here like that. That would work quite well, I think. And then we can go ahead and supply Somerton. So I think that's what we're going to do. We're going to go ahead and basically build up the same station again. Additional tracks we don't need. We need a core of 120 plus 200s. That gives us our same station with 6 tracks. Let's rotate this round incredibly slowly and let's get that in the top of the town there, like so. Okay, maybe not. If we go ahead and angle that a little bit. Things are just not going my way today, are they? Tell you what, no, I can't shorten it though. Right, I need to turn off contour lines and I need to pause the game because I'm getting about half a frame right now, which is crazy. Right, what we need to do is I need to go ahead and turn the contours back on. Let's go ahead and very quickly just lower all of this here. We need to flatten this whole hill. That's one mod I wish that was sort of available, was bigger brush sizes like they have in City Skylines, because try to do much terraforming with this brush is not easy in the slightest. Let's also go ahead and pretty much just erode this hill away, because I don't really like it, in all honesty. So there we go, that looks not as elegant, but it is a lot flatter, which is good. So let's go ahead and try and build the station for the second time round. We're going to destroy a lot of factories probably in this process. Still can't get it in there though, but there we go, we can get that in there, which is perfect. Right, so that works out quite well and in my favour. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and have a... The problem is here is I don't think this can actually get above the ground in time, so that means they're going to intersect under there, which is the last thing I honestly want. The thing is though, these train tracks are literally at the same elevation, and there's no way that can go ahead and climb that much that quickly, unless we maybe start from over here, but then we're going to have crossover, which is another thing I don't want. We can actually get that to there already, which is really interesting. If we go for something like that, I mean, yeah, we can get that. I mean, it's the most ugliest thing ever, but it is going to resolve my issue, which I don't think we're going to be able to do otherwise. So, let's go ahead and build that into there like so. Then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to join that in. We're going to try and have a junction over a tunnel. I mean, could you think of a better recipe for disaster? You probably couldn't, to be honest. So let's go ahead and try this and see if that works. So that will work into there, which is fine. And then if we go ahead and... Surprise, surprise, that actually works. I mean, don't get me wrong, it is hideous and the terrain definitely needs quite drastically softens around about here. Massive craters in the side of the ground there, but that should do the trick, which is good enough for me. Now this is going to be sharing the crude oil line, which is fine because there's only one train on this right now anyway. There is a bit of a hill to climb though, so we will go ahead and probably put a nice locomotive on the front, such as the class 103, or we could go with the RE6-6. Those I think are really my two main options. What we'll do is we'll use the engine house up there and then we're good to go. So let's jump back to trains. Let's go ahead and grab our line from here and up to there, which is wonderful. What we can do though is go ahead and introduce that extra platform, which is good. Let's go ahead and call this the... this is the town of Somerton. Airton, and this is fuel spelt with a U first, which is perfect. Right, okay, so what we are going to do now is we are going to go ahead though and add in this extra line along here, which we're actually going to go ahead and do a double track here. Then what we're going to do is we're going to run this right down here actually, just so we can go ahead and have an extra track as a siding in case a train needs to ever wait. Then let's go ahead and merge that into there like that, which is perfect. Oh, I'm very much liking that indeed. So, just a small siding here, but it means if a train needs to wait, it doesn't go ahead and block the crude oil train, which is vitally important that the crude oil train gets priority, just because of the fact that the crude oil is going to be going ahead and being distributed to 3 separate towns, not just the one. Right, so that engine house actually isn't going to work there, which is a real shame. So, if we go ahead and draw a line out here, let's go ahead and jump into... back into trains, back into engine sheds, and let's go ahead and stick our opposite engine shed in there. Though that isn't going to happen, is it? No, it's not. Small stuff today is just really pissing me off. Arguably, I can see why that doesn't work, so I'm not going to get too mad. Let's go ahead and curve that right round there like so. No way this can't be built. Though I've just probably jinxed myself now, because this is going to be hanging off a cliff. It does work, though that shouldn't work either, but it works. So we'll go with it. Right, okay, let me just go ahead and check I've got my platforms right here. Let's view this, and we just need to go ahead and throw the Somerton fuel into platform number 4, which is perfect. Right, things are looking on the up here, they really are. Let me go ahead and soften this. I know what train we're going to go for. Let me actually go ahead and soften this out back as well, so it doesn't look like it's hanging off a cliff. Which it's not, which is good. Actually, interestingly, while autosave occurs here, Billy Twister was saying that he's had a lot of crashes recently in with this game as well, which I don't know if it's just a lot of the mods right now are just a bit funny, because I feel that there's a lot of mods that I'm subscribed to. I mean, there's so many mods I'm subscribed to though that it's difficult to pick individual ones out, but I just feel that a lot of them are... It just got a bit of weird, undefined behaviour right now, which is quite strange. And it is a bit unfortunate. Anyway, let's go ahead and get the fuel on the go here. So we're going for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. And then with that said, that's going to go onto the G, Somerton, and that's going to be the fuel train. Right, so that is good to rock and roll, ladies and gentlemen. So that's some more expansion over here. What I want to do to wrap this episode up is, holy smokes, what happened over here? Maidstone Con, wow, Maidstone. Really interesting, because there was like there's still little demand for Prince Dobson. I really don't understand that. Right, so first of all, if you only got one train doing this route, you do, and it's a very, or do we have 2 small trains? That's Maidstone Con, yeah. So first things first is you need an upgrade. You need a lot more carriages. Also, if you've got 10 carriages and you're only carrying 15... No, I'm stupid, I cannot do maths here. You're also having to wait for a free path, which is going to cause issues, but again, I mean, that's going to be a process to go ahead and sort out. Right, what we need to do is we need to go ahead and basically make the replace train better. So we go into freight here, we go into some of this here. Let's go ahead and get construction materials, and let's literally get another 10 wagons on the back. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Then all of a sudden we've gone ahead and doubled the length of the train entirely, which is good. So I'm hoping that will go ahead and now make some sort of difference. Interestingly now, it looks like this route's very negative, which is disappointing. The thing is, I'm imagining you're not actually giving out max stone right now, but it's because things over here are just so behind, you know? So surely it's got to cut Maidstone construction materials off at some point soon. And I'm guessing that's what my warning is as well. It's actually not trying to ship more items over in Kendall. Anyway, we're going to go ahead and we're going to jump away from here, because I do want to just go ahead and try and touch on something else towards the end of this episode. So we have a lot of issues here with regards to passenger numbers. Let's Coburn down to Maidstone via our actually now really busy airport. This airport does really, really well in general. Glad we've got so many trams over here. Looks like right now we've got some people about to jet off to Portish Head, which is cool. I think we maybe need bigger trains possibly in between the 2 towns here. Is this a train which runs on that track? It is. So you're still running on Stadler Flirts, which I think we know by this stage Stadler Flirts are on the out, just because they don't really have the capacity to go ahead and continue to support our network, just because towns have just got so much bigger as of recent, I feel, in the last 10 episodes, which, I mean, it is natural growth, but we've just not touched on it for so long. So we're changing to a lot of these RE trains now, and we're trying out a lot of different things here. So what I'm thinking is maybe going ahead and going for a RE long train, a double local here. That is... thing is, it's a very, very long train all of a sudden it becomes. Could always go ahead and put 2 of those together. That would give us a seating capacity of 288, which could work. Or we could go ahead and maybe go for a dual stock. I have used a few of these. I think I actually quite like that idea. So let's go for a dual stock with capacity of 312. I'm hoping that will go ahead and resolve my issues here. So let's go ahead and replace now, and let's select yes for a whopping 82 million. As you can see, the Coburn to Kendall route's already upgraded to these, and it's already got a bit of room on at least. I mean, it's actually really bad timing because both trains are in the train station, so they're going ahead and currently decoupling right now, which is kind of funny, but are they going to fill up all the way to the maximum? Hopefully not, because I've hopefully left a bit of room for them to go ahead and breathe. We're starting to see one of them filling up to very close to that number, and right, okay, train 31's full, and okay, right, T-Burn, right, okay, so Coburn to Kendall is over capacity as well on both of its trains. As we can see, we've got already 70 people waiting, which is not good. Arguably, we actually only have 2 trains on this route, which is really weird. Looks like we've also got an increased demand for, what have I got in here? Stadler Flirts. The thing is, these build-ups are actually mainly being caused not because of lack of trains, it's the frequency of trains, because what is happening is another train pulls in, it empties, and all of a sudden we want to just go ahead and move lots and lots of passengers. Let's end this episode up here though, because I want to go ahead and see. I think we've got a lot of upgrading to do here, because this area is mainly Stadler Flirts, which just isn't good enough at all. So let's go ahead and enter T-Bang in, because this seems to be causing some issues. So T-Banger to Southgate right now are using double-ended, this is stupid, first of all, so we're using double-ended Stadler Flirts, which, okay, I think is an option, but let's go ahead and instead of using double-ended Stadler Flirts, which I think stupid, let's use an alternative train because we have them, that is for sure. We were actually using HSTs on this route for a while, which didn't end very well, it just was too uneconomical. What we could do is, what about maybe a Metroliner, something totally different? No, okay, we do need a really big train here, like I'm talking a really big train. The biggest one here we've got is the train long, and that only has 363, so that's an issue. What about the... okay, you got 426, that pretty much meets the criteria perfectly. So let's go ahead and get some of these duo stocks on the go. Let's replace now, and let's go ahead and upgrade that. That's got 10 carriages, so that's going to make for some very long trains indeed. Though again, hopefully it'll go ahead and clear stuff up. This is also an incredibly tall building housing 256 people right beside the station here, which is quite dramatic. So, with that done now, we need to go ahead and continue to make changes to the other trains. So, that's going into Hampstead now. Let's go ahead and check this route out. So this one goes up the hill to Bawtry. These trains are pretty much both full, which is a bit understandable. So let's go ahead and also change this replacement train, and let's jump in. I already know what we're going to go for. We're going to go for the 330 capacity of, or 312. Yeah, let's do this here. So let's go for the double loco. Let's go ahead and slap that on there, and let's go for on and replace now. And then finally, the remaining route here is from Hampstead actually, which Hampstead is always a bit busy. I don't know why we have 4 trains on this route, but we do, which is interesting. Having 4 trains on this route is just silly in all honesty, because it's such... suppose we actually have a train station in the middle now, so that kind of does make sense. Again, you guys are just not big enough anymore, so let's go ahead and change this up for now. What I'm thinking is maybe going for the 312, let's go for the dual stock mediums here. Let's go ahead and get that upgraded on, and let's get that sorted. So it's all change from trains from Banger here, which is pretty awesome. And now we should hopefully see a lot less people waiting at the station. It is an absolute chaos station right now, but hopefully things will start to change as time goes on now. If we go ahead and actually speed things up, then we can go ahead and make that happen a little bit faster. So there we go, that is our new RE train on the tracks there, our double locomotives. That's already gone ahead and cleared a lot of backlog. Our dual stock here as well, that's gone ahead and filled up quite nicely. And then we've got one of our Stadler Flirts coming in from Hampstead, which is also about to change shortly. So it's just a bit of an upgrade. That's really what we need on a lot of our infrastructure in general. And then with that said, going forwards, hopefully we can go ahead and continue with some more of this success. Right, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to ask this question now because it's one of these ones where I feel I'm starting to get a bit repetitive with this project, because this project is so big, our Bigfoot cargo loop, that I feel it's a lot the same. It's a lot of the similar, you know? So what would you like to see which is totally different? I know cargo planes has been suggested. Would you like me to work on anything else specifically? Or would you like me to end this map and go into something else? Just give me your thoughts, please, because again, that's always playing at the back of my mind. Just want to end very quickly over here. We are going to go ahead and end now because I am out of time for this episode, but please go ahead and leave a like rating on this video. Production is drastically low here, but I'm hoping things will start to kick into shape. This is now at maximum production, which is good, so until that increases, we're just going to have to do a bit of waiting as time goes on. But go ahead and leave a like, rate, subscribe if you are new around here. Go ahead and give me your feedback, comments, and thoughts all down in the comment section below, not the description. But do check out the description because it has a few wonderful links. One, to the mod list that I'm using. Two, we have the link to my Twitter, Patreon, and Discord over there as well, which is great ways to connect with me. And that's pretty much it for this video, ladies and gentlemen. So, thank you very much for watching. My name is Bigfoot, and I'm out.